Welcome back to the Kick and Post YouTube channel and the Art of MMA podcast. I am your host, Amal Thompson, and I am back with
Roger.
We've been gone for a little bit. We've still been watching the fights.
Yeah.
We've still been watching the fights. I enjoyed the UFC Winnipeg card pretty well, and I know Roger was able to watch the one last week in the Apex, right? It was in the Apex. With Aljo versus Alal as the headliner. Aljo showing everybody why he's Aljo.
Yes.
But we're here for another pretty decent card. Protes headlining with Jack Maddalena. I think this is Protes' second 5-round fight, if I'm not mistaken. First one he lost to Ian Gary, went all the way to decision. He's usually a 3-round guy. Not usually one to see all 3 rounds, but pretty big. I don't want to say jumping competition because I think Ian Gary was that for him.
Yeah.
But former champ that he's going against, so it should be an interesting test for him. But before we hop into that main card, let's look at some of these earlier fights on the bout, man. We're looking at a fight this weekend between. Let me pull up the fight because I already dropped it. Look at me, I'm a little bit rusty. Boom. In Australia, the Perth card. You know, if it's a Perth card, there's a name we're going to be saying on here soon, but it opens up with Cody Steele and Domamar Fan. Now, I watched a Cody Steele fight. I'm not the biggest Domamar fan. Haha, get it? But I've seen Cody on that Duplessis Strickland card. Pretty decent fight. And I'm almost certain I watched him knock out the guy on the Contender Series. But I don't know enough about Domar to really make a call on this one. I probably just have to trust the books. Not saying I'm betting on this fight, but I'd have to trust the books on this one if I looked. Even though some talk on social media is that a lot of these fights, the odds are a little bit tricky. There's some guys who are being undervalued. How much do you know about Domar Fan?
I don't know much about either one of these guys, but I have seen him fight. I'm gonna go with Domar Fan on this one. I don't know a lot about him, but his last fight, which was his only one in the UFC, was a unanimous decision loss. And I want to say Cody Steele's in the same boat. Didn't he lose that fight? And I think that he's only had one fight too, right?
Domar Fan beat Sang-wook Kim in his first UFC fight.
Oh no, he did win that one.
Yeah, and then Cody Steele lost his one fight.
Okay, I saw it wrong.
Yeah.
But I did like the way he fought in that Domar Fan, and I thought it was a good fight, which makes sense that he won the fight. But I'm gonna go with him. I'm not gonna. I mean, I know they've got Steele as the favorite in this fight. Maybe they know something I don't. Admittedly, I don't know a lot about these guys, so kind of excited to see him. Although I'll probably have to see him later on in the weekend because this is a early fight.
It's early,
so
I will be busy.
Yeah,
I will be busy. No offense to these guys. Yeah, this is a tricky one for the UFC. This is definitely one of those rewatch style fights. Fight cards. For the working man at least. We follow up that one with Themba Gorimba versus Jonathan McAuliffe. And I was a big Themba guy. Love Themba Gorimba. But he's been on a little bit of a rough stretch.
Yeah.
Going against McAuliffe, 1 loss. Has 2 sub wins in his last 3. And 1 unanimous decision. His biggest comp, I'd say, in that 3 is the Oban Elliott fight, which Oban Elliott's a pretty interesting fighter as well. Not really known for his ground defense, so a sub win against him makes sense. Themba, however, on his rough run that he's been on, I feel like he's faced better competition.
He has. Yeah.
The sub loss to Luque makes sense. He loses a unanimous decision to Jeremiah Wells. but you look at some of the guys I guess he's beaten. I think Brahimaj is a better fighter than anybody that McAuliffe has fought. Um, I would say Nico Price.
Nah, he's.
But anything post 2022
Yeah, I was gonna say it
Nico
depends
Price,
on
you kind
when.
of have to put a pin in it.
Yeah.
Um, but overall comp, I think Grimba's faced the tougher fighters. Now, Grimba is an underdog in this one, understandably so, with the losses he's acquired. But something's calling me to Themba, man. I don't know. I don't know. I think I like his ability to probably bounce back off a couple of these ones.
Okay.
Um, and I think the jump in competition, because I still view Themba as a pretty solid fighter in the UFC.
Yeah.
Might be a bit much for Jonathan this early. This is in Perth, so you're expecting the Australians to show out a little bit.
Yeah.
So there's that layer to it as well. But give me Themba to win by decision. I think
Okay.
Themba fights safe. I think he stays active. I think he avoids the ground game with McAuliffe because the last time he engaged in the ground game, it was with somebody a lot more skilled. Obviously, Vicente Luque showing everybody he still has that in his bag. Um, but I think on the feet, Themba could present pressure problems and keep Jonathan just a little bit uncomfortable the fight and keep him uncomfortable for the length of the fight to sneak out a decision. I think that's his way to victory. What says you?
Okay. This is a hard one. I think you hit the nail on the head with the experience that Themba has. It's the better competition, and the experience when he's not. It's one thing to say, "Oh, this guy's got a lot of experience." Yeah, but he's 39 years old.
Yes.
I don't think that's Themba. And I could be mistaken, but I don't think Themba's. I think Themba's still probably mid-30s. Yeah.
35 to be exact.
Okay. So mid-30s. He's still. He's not over the top there. So I think it's a good fight for McAuliffe to try to put a name, get his name in there. I think that's kind of how they're seeing, hey, does Themba still have anything? Or it's one of these, they're one's on the way down, one's on the way up kind of thing. But they're kind of meeting in a weird spot where Themba's not too far to where he couldn't pull an upset in this. I'm Me personally, I'm going to go with McAuliffe in this one.
Okay.
The young guy, able to get the submissions, aggressive fighter. I'm going to go with him to kind of overwhelm the older fighter. And I think this is one where experience is going to keep Themba in the fight, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get his hand raised.
Got you. We have a reviewing of a Wes Schultz fight. The last time we saw Wes Schultz was against Pinas, and we did cover that in a preview, if I'm not mistaken, or at least a review, or both. Where we figured Pinas would be a little bit too athletic for Wes Schultz. Take care of business early, and he did. We were intrigued with the idea of Wes Schultz probably closing the distance and getting it on the ground. Is this a second opportunity for him to run that strategy back and potentially beat a debutant in Ben Johnston? I don't know much about Ben Johnston. I just went and looked up his fight list. He has 3 of his last 4 fights were wins by rear naked choke. So leads me to believe this guy's not worried about getting into a ground exchange.
Right.
Second thing I'm looking at is the debutant is 35. Wes Schultz is 29. Not a late age to really be debuting in the MMA, but I mean in the UFC, but
it's later.
It's kind of up there. We're talking about Grimba having experience when he's 35.
Yeah.
In the last fight we just talked about, right? So I don't know. The line is kind of thin on this one. They got Ben Johnston favored at -160, Wes Schultz at +130. I don't know what I'm getting out of the debutant, but if I don't know him well enough, I err on the side, especially when I don't see a lot of TKO wins early or lately. I err on the side of the guy who has some experience. So I'm gonna go Wes Schultz. I'm gonna go Wes Schultz to take this one. I'm gonna take the plus money on it. And if I really want to get cute about it, I'm gonna take him to win by sub because it seems like the other guy is willing to engage.
Mm-hmm.
And Wes Schultz has a UFC submission win in the first round. The other guy has not faced UFC competition yet. So top level, I'm just going with that. What says you?
All right, let me premise this with saying I'm not super high on Ben Johnston.
Yes.
On the other hand, what you're getting with him from what I've seen in my some research to see who this guy is. City kickboxing.
Yeah.
World champion Muay Thai fighter. Muay Thai kickboxing. One of the two. World champion.
Mm-hmm.
Who has submissions.
Mm.
You put those two things together and you say, okay, well, Schultz has a very high level wrestling background. He doesn't use it. I thought that could, when I found that out, it was after our podcast in the Panas fight. And I thought, oh, we might be in for a problem here if he's got that high level of wrestling, because I don't know that Panas can defend that. And then he just
Not
went out there
interested in
and
it.
did not use it. And so if you're going to get in a striking match with Ben Johnston, you're going to lose that fight. Schultz is not good enough to stand with him. And I have a feeling what's happened in a lot of Ben Johnston's fight, admittedly having not seen them, but read about them, is that
He dropped him and
or
they
at
grabbed
least
him.
read about them. He dropped him. And when he dropped him, he went in for the submission. And I have a feeling that you're going to get a similar thing here. And if he decides to not follow Schultz to the ground because of his wrestling, which I could see, City kickboxing is known for its strikes, not necessarily its grapplers. But if you decide you're not going to follow him to the ground because of his wrestling background, stand him back up. He's going to beat Schultz. Schultz is sloppy on his feet. And
Yeah, he is.
I just don't see Schultz winning a striking match against Ben Johnston. Ben Johnston is tall.
6'4", yeah.
He's gonna be a lot for Schultz. But and mostly because not because Schultz can't use his wrestling, but because he just in none of the fights that I've seen him has he really used his wrestling very much. And so I don't expect him to start now. But if he does do that, if he goes back and he's reevaluated and he said, I should incorporate this in there. If he goes to wrestling, this is a whole different conversation. But because he doesn't tend to use it, I'm going to go with Ben Johnston. I'm not very high on him, like being a champion in the UFC. Being a
But you think
decent
this is a
fighter,
winnable
yeah.
fight?
Giving some people problems, sure. Winning some fights, definitely. And I think this is one that he's going to win. So I'm going to go with him to win this fight. And I'm going to say probably not to get past round 2.
When I saw the height, it really put me in the perspective of our friend who recently fought. He's not City Kickboxing, but he trains with Alex Pereira because he used to fight Alex Pereira. Yeah,
You
it put
fight
me
him
in
in
that frame
glory.
of mind. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he was City Kickboxing. It kind of changes my perspective a bit. Navajo Sterling came through a couple weekends ago.
Mm-hmm.
Got his first big knockout. Looked really good with the hands. Obviously, they just acquired a light heavyweight champ in their ranks now. He'll be out for a bit. Just got an ACL surgery. Yeah, if he's that skilled on the feet, I'm switching my pick. I think Wes Schultz will get got. I just didn't know enough about the guy, but now with what I do know, not a fan. Not a fan of him, engaging at all with somebody with length and striking ability. So I'm gonna take the debutant. One thing I also didn't say. 35 years old. I'm assuming he's been fighting for a little bit, but 5-1 at 35 seems
I think
really,
he's
really low. Is he just a huge amateur scene guy?
I think he's just done so much kickboxing.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it is what it is.
I'm looking it up right now to see if I can't get this in here. See if I can't get a look at the kickboxing match, but it's not. I'm having trouble finding it. Huh. I see him with a belt like in the pictures, but I'm trying to find some actual things to
Some things about him,
read
not for
to
sure.
see what it is. It's all showing me MMA stuff. But they said it on his when he won the Eternal MMA, they talked about him being a kickboxing champion, world champion. I'm trying to find if one of these has his record in kickboxing.
No, for sure.
They've all got it. They've all got the MMA because it's mostly MMA fights. Things that I look at, I don't usually look at the kickboxing sites, so I don't even know what they are. Let's see. Two-time world Muay Thai champion, 90% finishing rate across 40 combined fights in Muay Thai. 5-1 MMA record, eternal middleweight champion. "12 consecutive wins after his first loss. Claimed 2 world titles." So there you go. City kickboxing. 6'4" middleweight. We've seen that before.
Okay. I'm going with City Kickboxing on this one. Now, my TikTok feed has turned into MMA quite quickly. Partially because of my posts. Again, follow us on Kick and Post to TikTok. Partially because on my main account, I run into people who make the content as well. And Vince Morales, Kobe Thickneys has been a topic of discussion.
Interesting. Tell me
because
why.
Vince Morales is an underdog, and people say Vince Morales is pressure. And again, level of comp should lead to him being viewed in a different light, right? They give him credit for people he's lost to. Raul Rosas Jr., unanimous decision, took one of the new UFC darlings, Elijah Smith, all the way to 3 rounds, right? Which is a difficult thing to do if you saw how his last few fights have gone. They're giving him credit again for those losses. Kobe Thickneys, even though he's 8-1, not that much experience in the UFC.
Yeah.
Took Alessandre Tapura to decision, which, do with that as you will, and then had a unanimous decision win over Musasa. And the area they're saying that he could be had is on the feet. They feel like Kobe does not deal with front pressure well. They feel like in these striking exchanges, he's underskilled, and Vince has the advantage there. And Kobe's route to victory is to shoot repeatedly once things start to go south, and that's how he's going to try to kind of stay in the fight. I don't know enough about Kobe to say that these things are true. But
I mean,
Vince,
he's not a big favorite to be having that much controversy over.
I know, but like, what are they seeing that I didn't see? You know what I mean? Like, like, why are they so heavy on the Vince Morales side of this one?
I don't know.
Think?
I'm gonna be honest with you. With Morales, he's got a lot of L's on that record. And it's not necessarily great competition. Like, some of it is good competition. But because you take a fighter, all 3 rounds, I mean, that could mean a lot of things. But then you look at thickness, and he took Topuria to 3 rounds, the other Topuria. But how underrated of a fighter is he? You know, Tapori is highly overshadowed by his brother. But
I
he's
agree.
he's a substantial threat in that division. And he went 3 rounds with thickness, and so he's only had 2 fights. But he's shown himself to be a good fighter, you know. Morales is, I mean, he's okay, so let me put it this way. Morales has lost fights on a consistent basis.
Yes.
Thickness has won fights on a consistent basis.
Okay.
That's why
Talk your talk.
if I'm going to say that one of them is going to pull this fight out, like, while I do
Yeah.
think competition-wise, you could look and say, okay, Morales has had a lot of fights against some good people. He hasn't laid down for him. Okay. He hasn't laid down for him, but he hasn't found a way to win.
Yeah.
Thickness has had less fights, right? I mean, he's 7-1 going into this, or 8-1. He's 8-1 going into this. Out of his 9 fights, he's won 8. He is used to winning, and winning on a consistent basis makes a difference with your mental mindset. And I'm going to say that that's probably along the lines of why he's favored to win this fight. Why people see Morales to win this fight, if I had to guess, mostly from what you're saying you're seeing, is because he's put up good fights against people. But just
Yes.
because he's put up good fights against people doesn't mean he's going to pull out the win against this guy just because he's had some good fights. He can stay in a fight, and he's good at staying in a fight. But if he's not good at winning the fight, then that's probably why the odds makers are putting the other guy above him, which I would tend to agree with.
8-1 compared to 16-10.
Mm-hmm.
He's lost fights to people who are not the guys I listed. Right? If you take the 2 really good guys out of there that we are putting on a pedestal right now, he's still 16-8.
Yeah.
You know? So, I don't know. It was just something I was intrigued by.
Yeah.
You know, I'm one for the strikers anyway, so I probably will lean with Vince Morales if you're telling me that thickness, when he gets into those exchanges, he errs on the side of get this to the ground and extend it. If I have a guy who they're alleging is a substantial advantage on the feet, I'm going to ride that side. But I agree with you 100%. 16-10 shows me that you're willing to, you know, you're not afraid of a loss.
Right.
Even if it's unanimous decision loss. You do what it needs to do to get to that belt, but you're not necessarily doing enough to win. So interesting to see how that fight plays out, what shakes out there. Going into this, I think it's the prelim headliner. No, we still have a few before it's a prelim headliner. But Gerald Meerschaert.
Gerald
Meerschaert. Our guy didn't quit, Roger. He has no quit in him.
Bro.
He said one more. Jacob Malkoun. Interesting prospect, Jacob Malkoun is. Has some power in his hands. Finished Petrosky in the second round. Went to a unanimous decision with Torres Finney. He is plus 200 to finish this fight in the first round against Gerald Meerschaert.
So
he's not really a fast starter necessarily, so I understand that. But Gerald Meerschaert's chin is also not a fast starter.
So let's kind of put this in perspective with the fight that we just had.
Yes.
Malkoun and Finney went to decision. You could say Finney took Malkoun to a decision. That was not a close fight.
No.
That was, so if you're looking at a guy who's taking somebody to a finish or to the end of the fight, like, there's different ways to take people to the end of the fight. Like, you were getting beat on for 3 rounds. He just couldn't put you away versus it was a close fight for 3 rounds.
Yes.
You know, those things are different when you're looking at records. I just wanted to throw that in there. All right.
No, for sure.
Malkoon and Meerschaert?
Yes.
I mean, give me Malkoon all day long.
Yeah, I'm taking Malkoon to win. The only thing I'm getting real questionable on is how long does this go, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Because I have this feeling to go first round because I feel like a powerful shot in Perth, crowd riling them up, knowing you have a guy in front of you that has been finished numerous times. He has not seen it out of the first round in the last two. And it's been pretty decisive in both of those, right? Has faced some good competition, but again, lots of L's on there with the competition he's faced.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I just feel like with the crowd riling him up, he could actually come out and be a little bit of a faster starter than previously. Now, again, that's not usually his style.
Right.
But it's calling me. The only other route I'd go is a second round finish by Jacob Malkoon. Because if they make it out of the first, I don't think they make it out of the second.
Yeah. The thing that Malkoon impressed me with was his accuracy. He's going to be able to hit Meerschaert.
Everybody hits Meerschaert.
Finney was a good wrestler. And Finney couldn't get him down and hold him down for anything meaningful. And so, I mean, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fights. He is 2-7 in his last fights. Meerschaert is. The most sure bet I think a person could take was to bet on him to lose.
Yes,
but what you're saying is around, and I completely agree with you on that. It is hard to tell because Malkoon is going to piece you up, but is he going to knock you out? And that's the thing. We've seen him with the knockouts, and we've seen somebody with a little bit stronger chin be able to withstand it. So
yeah,
I'm still going to go with him round one to win this.
I'm gonna take him to finish him in round one.
I can't see Meerschaert doing much else. The only hope I think Meerschaert has in this fight, which we talked about earlier off the pod, was a submission win. He takes him down, he submits him. I do not know how good Malkoon's ground game is. He's probably got good defense, and Meerschaert is probably not going to be able to take him to the ground if Finney couldn't do it and hold him there. Again, the difference between a BJJ takedown and a wrestling takedown are completely different worlds.
Yes.
And so Meerschaert to be able to go in there and just take him down is probably going to be harder. But if he does get to take down, it is very possible that he throws a submission up that works. But the likelihood of that compared to Malkoon getting the knockout, I think even, when you talk about where you have to place a punch to knock him out and all this stuff, I still think Malkoon with his accuracy is a higher chance than Meerschaert getting in there and getting a submission. So I'm going with Malkoon. I'm going to go first round KO, TKO, whatever you want to call it, at home in front of the home crowd. So
I like it.
And then the big question is, do we see Malkoon after this? Or is this his last fight?
I think we should be done with it.
Or not Malkoon. How long are we going to see Meerschaert? We talked about it last time.
I think we should be done with it. I very much think we should be done with it.
Who does he know to keep getting these fights?
He's one of those savvy vets, man. 37-21. His record is far apart enough where you could be like, he's had wins, right? And until it gets to 37-30, where it starts getting really ugly, that 37 wins sticks out.
Yeah.
So you could keep fluffing people's record with him. You know? You
Put
could
him.
keep saying, oh, yeah, he beat this guy who had 37 wins in MMA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
And he fights often. He must love it. He must love it.
He must love it, man. I mean, you gotta love it to do this kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right? We have a Junior Taffa Kevin Christian fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm being told Junior Taffa is minus 210.
Okay.
Both these guys' last two fights were Billy Alicana.
Mm-hmm.
Taffa should have finished Billy Alicana last fight.
Oh my gosh.
He should have.
We talked about that shot that he threw.
Yeah.
Oh man. If you haven't seen that fight, go back and watch that fight and tell me how Alicana survived that. He got floored.
And it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks because after that, Sekiran came out and Alicana got that sub.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What could have been? Now we bring him back to go against a Kevin Christian who had one win by sub and then fought Billy Alicana and lost by sub. So Billy Alicana's wins go against each other here.
Yep.
Kevin Christian is 6'7".
Yeah.
Kevin Christian has quite a few KO wins, but he's also really good in the submission game. 5-2.
Yeah.
That's really good to me. I don't know why everybody's on Junior Taffa. And I get that he came this close to finishing, literally, to finishing Billy Alicana, but he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't.
He's 6'5". He's been submitted 3 times in his last 4.
Mm-hmm.
He has 5 losses in his last 7. And you're taking a guy off the Contender Series that, again, lost to Billy Alicana versus via submission. But I think the UFC's investment level is being shown here. Why would we be giving Taffa that guy to fight?
Yeah.
Do you think it's to build back his confidence? Potentially. Taffa's only 29. But the 6'7" light heavyweight with submission skills and a few knockouts in there too, something leads me to believe that we're giving him an opportunity to shine as well. And I can't, in my right mind, as a man who, supports his family with the money he makes, put it on Junior Taffa. I can't. I don't trust him.
Yeah.
At minus 210 too, so you're telling me I gotta take all the juice on this one and back Junior Taffa?
Yeah.
I can't do it. Now, if you were telling me he's plus 210, and I could be like, okay, he has more UFC fights, I could talk myself into it then. Billy Alicana was on the ropes, right? Kevin Christian, this is his third fight in the UFC.
Yeah.
And it's been not the most ideal start to his career.
Right.
Sure. But I got to take all the juice on the guy who's 6-5. I'm good on that. Give me Kevin Christian to win this fight.
Look, this is an opportunity. That's what this fight is. It is an opportunity. It is an opportunity for Junior Taffa to go out and show that he belongs in the UFC. If he loses this fight to a guy who's got a Contender Series win and a loss in the UFC, and you lose that fight, there's nowhere else to go. You're probably out of the UFC. Now, contracts are contracts, so maybe you've got a 3 or 4 fight contract.
Maybe you got some juice.
Yeah, but it is not boding well for you. This is an opportunity for you to start getting it back. You're 29 years old. You've got experience in the UFC. But am I going to go with Taffa to win this fight after he's lost his last 3 by submission? Yes, he could floor Kevin Christensen.
Oh, yeah, he can.
This would not surprise me at all if this guy goes out there and just floors him in the first round. In fact, if I was betting on him landing a big punch in the first round, I'd say, yeah, he's probably going to do that. But he hasn't won. He's been submitted in his last 3. He's hit them all with big punches.
He's
Elikana
got to
was
finish the first round.
the most memorable first punch, I'd say. But he's hit them all with big punches. So is Christensen going to get hit with a big punch? Sure. But this is an opportunity for him as well to say, I went in there against somebody who was a heavyweight, who dropped down a lightweight. I still took him out. I'm at home. Let's get this UFC career going in the right direction.
Yeah.
This is nothing but an opportunity for these guys. And if they're looking at it as anything but, if Tafa is saying, I have to win this fight because if I don't, I'm out, he can't do that. If you're fighting not to lose, it's going to be a problem. If this guy's saying, I can't lose my second UFC fight or I'm out, if they go in with that mindset, they're probably going to lose. They've got to go and
probably
seek
a terrible fight too.
Yeah, they got to go in there seeking the opportunity. And if you're talking about a guy who's, like I said before, winning matters, who's used to winning for someone who's used to losing, I'm going to go with the guy who's used to winning, even if he's coming off a loss. Sometimes a loss is the best thing that happens to you, and sometimes people wallow in it. So, and I'm not going to say that's what's happening to Tafa, but he's on a streak. So I'm going to go with the other guy too. I'm not giving Tafa. I'm not giving that. I'm not giving him the upper hand in this. I think it's going to go with Christensen. I think he's going to have the opportunity. He is going to have the height. He's going to have the length. Tafa might have trouble. I mean, Tafa's 6'5" though, so they're both pretty tall, right?
Tafa is 6'3". Yeah,
6'3". So he's still not going to have a problem hitting this guy.
He's not short, no.
But outside of a huge punch landing, like, extremely possible. But outside of that, we're going to go with Christensen on this. I think we're both going to ride on that one together.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I can't do it. A guy who's a pretty close line here, Cam Rouston versus Robert Brishik. This is another one that has been garnering some traction online as well. People are on the Robert side pretty heavily.
They're on the what?
Robert side.
See, that confuses me.
Because they say power, he has solid power.
I mean, he does.
He, again, has been on a run in the lower ranks, but gave Brad Tavares, he knocked out Brad Tavares, who had a bit of a good performance his last one out. And they believe that Cam Rouston, though skilled, is in for a rough go based on the style of fight that Robert presents. Yeah. I don't know. I think another city kickboxing guy,
tall,
like the
lanky.
Cam Rouston I saw, I was fairly okay with taking him against Robert Brishik. I think it was a fight that kind of played into his skill set.
Yeah.
Am I wrong on this one? It's in Australia. I keep putting that, and unlike the Canadians, they have performed well on their cards, on their home cards.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man.
So
I know I'm picking Rouston here.
I'm picking Rouston too. I don't hate Brizek to come out to come out and get a win here. But if I'm going favorites, if I'm putting a favorite on this, it's going to be Rouston. 2 fights in the UFC, 2 knockouts in the UFC. He's a tough fighter that wants to be there. He gets a little shine from, the city kickboxing. But I'm not seeing where Brizak with 37% striking accuracy is going to come out here and really do a whole lot unless you're just landing a big punch. I mean,
That's the belief. He's also
he's got some ground ability. I mean, he's not without skill. You know,
yeah.
he could do this, but if I'm setting odds for this, I'm setting him on Rouse's side. I'm not seeing, the knockout is good. You got one knockout. Rouse has got two. He lost his first one, right?
Yes.
Um, um, it was a unanimous decision.
Well, actually, no, he hasn't lost in the UFC.
Yeah, it has.
Rouston hasn't.
Not Rouston, no. Brissett.
Robert has.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he lost a unanimous decision to Potieria.
Yeah.
So yeah, he can land a big punch, but Rouston was a lot more impressive to me.
Yeah, I
His
figure Rouston has good
accuracy.
movement. I feel like he's
Hmm.
accurate. I feel like he has
Yeah,
good distance control. I feel like he fought pretty well.
yeah. Um, I'm I wouldn't have any qualms. I know, you know, does the other guy have a shot? Of course he does. But Rouston is a lot more accurate. He's going to be at home.
Hmm.
I think he takes this in the second round. I think
You think he
Robert's
finishes
durable.
him?
Yeah, yeah. I think he finishes him, but I think Robert's durable, and he's going to get punished. I don't think the hands are with Robert are going to be um at that same level, and I think Rouston's gonna pick him apart on the feet. And if he gets to picking them apart on the feet, and it's not a close in kind of phone booth type of a fight, I think
Yeah.
Rouston's gonna win this and probably put it on him until a second round TKO.
Okay.
I think second round
Yeah.
TKO is where it's going to be. Could be a third round, but I think a second round TKO in this one.
I like Rouston to just win, man. I think the line is comfortable enough at
Hmm.
minus 140. I think is what I saw. Um. Yeah. I understand people looking for the value, and we might come back and be like, okay, that's what people saw,
Yeah,
but based on what I've viewed so far, yeah, minus 170 Cam Rouston, I'm okay taking that straight.
yeah,
Um, and if I was to go there, I'm gonna take him by finish as well.
yeah.
Um, Tai Tuivasa opens up the main card. That's a silly statement to say.
Because why?
um, yeah, he should not be on the main
No,
card, but this is
at all.
Australia. This is Perth, and he was supposed to be fighting somebody who recently got knocked out by Junior Tafa, so that tells you everything you need to know. But that guy fell out
Hmm.
because he was injured. So we're at Louis Sutherland on short notice.
Yep.
And this is supposed to be a bounce back fight for
Hmm.
Tuivasa. And Louis Sutherland is on back to back losses
Yep.
in the UFC. I think this is their opportunity to see if he's gonna stick around or if they're gonna get rid of him, right?
Right.
The Vanilla Gorilla, that is his nickname, is expecting to go in there and spoil Tai Shui Tuivasa's homecoming. What's supposed to be him hopefully getting a win after so many losses in a row. Um, and I don't think he's going to. If it's the Tai that I saw go against Teixeira, I think Tai could win this fight.
Okay.
Because I think Tai put some good shots on Teixeira. I think Tai had some good cardio in that first round, early part of that second. And if he's able to turn up the volume on Louis Sutherland that quickly, I feel like he could get him out of there still. I
Hmm.
still think, um, which is a silly thing to say, but I still think the quality of losses on Ty's resume and who he's gone in there with and fought tops who Louis Sutherland is as a fighter. Um, and yeah, but am I gonna put anything on it? No, no. Ty Tuivasa is also on the watch and enjoy kind of list for me.
Hmm.
At minus 220,
Yeah.
no, no, Siri Bob. Like Because in these heavyweight fights, it takes one connection, and if it's anything, Ty's going to drive into that space and trade.
Yes.
He's not going to fight him in a way that, somebody with his skill set should fight him, which is potentially pick him apart, find your openings, Yes, it's a heavyweight fight, but you can be kind of intentional about where you approach the fight when you get in there. It's not Ty style. He's going to drink beer out of a boot, and he's going to punch people up close. That's what he does.
And
right?
It's fun to watch.
It's fun to watch. And that's probably why they keep trying to give him somebody to beat.
That is why
so we
he's
can
here.
keep him around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm willing to watch it and enjoy. But unless I'm going to get creative and go like, Tai Tuivasa round 2 knockout.
Yeah.
Tai Tuivasa to see the third round or something like that. I'm not going to take Tai Tuivasa straight up. Unless I could juice it in some way.
Okay.
To make it worth it. I'm not comfortable. Just like Junior Tafa, not comfortable putting my hard-earned dollars to make less hard-earned dollars than I put in. I got to put in 10 and see significant profit. I don't want to put in 10 and win $8.
Yeah.
While sweating it out. Well, actually, I wouldn't even be sweating it out. I'd wake up to the results, right? So I'm good. I'll enjoy the fight when I rewatch it.
Yeah.
And I do think Ty wins, but he's in this space where anything can happen these days. So,
yeah.
How you feel Shui's going to do?
So, honestly, I think this fight is right where it needs to be for Tuivasa.
Yes.
As far as the level of competition he should be fighting to have a competitive fight to win. He was a contender at one point. His last few fights have not shown him to be that contender. No. So
bit of a gauntlet there too, though.
He is on the main card because as much as people might hate it, personality matters. Personality matters when you're talking about entertainment. He's entertaining to watch. He's fun to watch, just like you said. He's going to drive right into that exchange. Sutherland, you're 2 fights into the UFC, and you just drew the guy who's coming in to knock your head off. You better fight a smart fight. Better fight a smart fight. That Walker loss, considering 4 or 5 other people have went down that same way. There's time to change your career around, but with 2 losses and then coming in here, if you get a third, you've got, again, opportunity. Main card. I know it's a fight night, but your main card, you're not even prelims. So you've got a chance to show people who you are. People want to watch a Tuivasa fight. You've got the opportunity to show people who you are, to show people what you can do. You've got to execute. I haven't seen him doing that since he's got to the UFC, so I don't trust that he's going to. So I'm going to take Tuivasa in this one. Am I going to throw money on it? Maybe not. But I'm going to take him to win. That's going to be my prediction for Tuivasa to win that fight and to win it in the first round. He likes to brawl. He's got that experience. I don't see anything from the other guys showing me. And again, this could be ignorance on that because I haven't watched him fight except in the UFC. But his fights in the UFC have not shown me that he can beat somebody in the UFC, much less somebody who's going to come in taking your head off. So I'm
round 1 Tuivasa is plus 175, by the way. If you just take round 1 Tuivasa without any KO or submission on it, which if I had to guess, round 1 KO is probably plus 180, which is really close. So
yeah, if this fight goes into the second or third round, expect a boring fight, I think.
Or just a sloppy one.
Yeah, sloppy fight,
a la like, you're not going to get Curtis Blades, Josh Hokett 3-rounder.
No. Oh my gosh.
These guys don't have that in them. Yeah, these guys don't have that in them. Ty's gas tank is not there. The Vanilla Gorilla, Louis Sutherland's gas tank is not there for that. So,
I mean,
yeah.
He's lost both his fight. He's got a combined under 3 minutes and 30 seconds in the octagon. Sutherland does,
Yeah.
because he was knocked out by Pericic, who we're going to see later in this, and Walker, who are both actually pretty highly touted coming in here. So it's not like he's fought new people in both of them, newer people.
But they're new people who are expected to do big things.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's got bad names on his resume that he's fought, but he hasn't won, and he hasn't been in there for
No.
very long against any of them. So he'll take a fight, but I don't expect him to get out of the first round in this one.
Nope. Another guy I think who's going to go in and make a statement is Brando Pericic, man, against Shamil Gaziv.
Yeah.
Shamil Gaziv is a savvy vet, 14-2. Got knocked out in his last one, if I'm not mistaken, though, against Waldo Acosta.
Yeah.
First round, right?
Uh-huh.
He's there to stand and trade with you. His 2 losses are by KO to heavy punchers.
Uh-huh.
I think in Australia, Brando Pericic is going to be the guy who's lighter on his feet, a little bit better reach, higher volume of significant strikes. I think his job is to go in there and get Gaziv out of there as well. Gaziv just had a first round loss by knockout, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
To Acosta, I think it was first round. Yep. I say just run that back. I don't think Gaziv has the foot speed to back out of those exchanges. And I don't think he's gonna have the head movability to really present issues for that exchange with Brando Pericic. And I think Brando Pericic is on a intense march to try to get to that top 5, top 6 range with his measurables, because it's a light division.
It is.
It's a light division. Josh Hoke is number 5 now, number 6 now, right? We got another guy who in his debut fight is now number 10.
Who was that?
He wrestled. What's his name? Fortune? Is his name Fortune? Tyrell Fortune? I think he got ranked. I don't know if it's number 10, but he fought within the last 3 cards.
Yeah, I know Fortune, Tyrell Fortune.
Yeah. I know he garnered a ranking.
He beat Taboria.
Yeah, he beat Martian Taboria, yeah.
And he debuted, beat Taboria, and now he's ranked number 10.
Is he actually ranked 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I was about to say, I felt like
11.
That's what I saw. 11, okay.
But he's got a lot of
he
people
needs new
high
coaching,
on
not
him.
to go back to him. Not to go back to him, but I think he needs a little bit better coaching when he's in there. Some of the stuff he was doing, they were trying to shift him away from when it was being very successful. And I'm not a UFC coach, but
Right.
I think he very much had the ability to put Tibera out on the feet.
Yeah.
And they weren't giving him the opportunity to continue that exchange. They wanted him to wrestle so badly. And maybe it's to protect your fighter. Maybe, he has a propensity to put himself in positions to lose a fight when he's up. You know your fighter better than I do. But just as a viewer, he had Tibera's.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. What makes this fight intriguing to me is kind of feel like we've got a fraud check moment. I kind of feel like Gazeev is going to stop this train. And I don't know why I feel that way. I don't really have any reason to say that except that that Purchase is talking a big game. And he's got the knockouts to back it up. I feel like Shamil is a little tougher than people give him credit for, and a little bit more savvy. And I kind of feel like you're looking at possibly a kind of fraud check moment here where Purchase is going to have to take a back seat. I think Aziv is going to pull this one out. I'm real careful on guys that are in the heavyweight division that are just knocking people out, because there are other skills, and I feel like Shamil possesses those skills to be able to stand with somebody, to go to the ground with somebody, to contend in other arenas of the fight game. And I really haven't seen Perchich in any of those except for the big punches. And his trend right now is knock him out in the first 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. Okay, we've seen this before. But what happens when the guy doesn't go down in the first 2 minutes?
And you're talking like a Ante Delish versus Sergey Spivak type of situation? Because Sergey Spivak kind of put it on Ante Delish, even though we thought Ante, had the physical advantages and was quicker and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sergey Spivak, a tough jab and some leg kicks really gave him a tough night.
And I think Gazeev has other tools that he's going to be able to hit Perchich with that we haven't seen out of Perchich. And maybe he's got them and we haven't seen them. But 2 fights, 2 quick knockouts. I mean, everybody thought Ngannou was a world beater, and in the end, he turned out to be. But he had to develop some other parts of his game, because in a wrestling match with Stipe Miocic, he was lost. Mm-hmm. He had to develop one thing in his game, and that was to take down defense. Does Perchich have that? Maybe, but I haven't seen it. I've seen Shamil, and I've seen that he can go out there and he can beat some good guys. I've seen that he's a solid opponent in this, that he's well-rounded in this. Perchich, I haven't seen that yet. So a lot of guys that come in there, he's going to have the aggression behind him. He's going to have the, I think what you're looking to see is somebody come in with aggression and power against somebody who's calm and collected, who has a well-rounded game and knows what he has. And I think that's Shamil. And I think for those reasons, I'm going to go with him to pull this upset.
Okay. I can't wait to see the results of that one. We don't really disagree that often.
Yeah, I think an upset in this one is coming.
Okay. How do you feel about the Rahiki Oli Schmidt fight? I
don't know Schmidt.
I have nothing. Rahiki is 23-8-0, and Oli Schmidt is 4-2, 25, and is a debutante. Yeah.
How old is Oli Schmidt?
25.
25. And
so
Rahiki,
both these guys
you said 23?
Yeah.
I'm going to take Rahiki in this one because I don't know anything about Oli Schmidt. I do know Rahiki. He had quite the fight with Hardwick.
Rahiki. Oh my God.
In the name, you gotta
ride with Rahiki, huh?
With Freaky Rahiki.
Yeah.
Morocco showing up a little bit.
This is a short notice one because this is the third fight on the main card. There's no betting line on it. That's the third, I think fourth on the main card. There's no betting line on it, and the other guy's a debutante. I don't think this was initially how this was set up.
Yeah, 4-2 debut, and it was probably thrown
short
in
notice,
there.
Yeah.
But
if I had to guess,
I don't know anything about Schmidt. But I did like Rahiki in his fight against Hardwick. I don't see any reason for him to come in and lose this fight against a 4-2 fighter who's making his debut in the UFC. Sometimes you're getting a guy who's been on the radar for a while,
Mm-hmm.
At 4-2, I don't feel like that's what you're getting on this one. But I'm gonna look him up. I'm gonna see.
Yeah, I mean, not saying we're gonna add any notes to this one, but be aware if we tune in and we see some stuff that we saw in film, a la Ethan Ewing, we'll come back and talk about it if something jumps off the page like that. Unfortunately, in this case, I don't think so.
He's the Hungarian stallion.
What a name! These guys have some names
Yeah.
on this one, man. The card of the nicknames.
So he's the 22nd ranked pro men's featherweight in
New Zealand.
Australia and New Zealand.
Gotcha.
So you're not getting somebody who's the top featherweight. Like, remember when we went back and it was the women's fight, and I was really high on the girl because she was like the number 1 ranked.
Yeah. Yeah, it was what's it called? Regina
and
Taryn.
her name, Taryn.
Yeah.
And she was very highly. This is not who you're getting with Schmidt. Now he might be good, but his ranking
You
doesn't
said
show it.
this is not that.
Yeah, he is from City Kickboxing. So
okay.
I'm
really big on who you rub shoulders with. So
he's a tall fighter. He's not a short guy. So he might have some height on him. So maybe he just needs his opportunity.
Maybe.
And we'll see. I'm gonna see where his record. If he lost his first 2 fights and won his last 4, then maybe you got something. And that's actually what it looks like happened. He's got 3-round win, a round 1 finish, and then a 15-second round win finish on a back fist.
Okay.
So it looks like he's solid fighter on the regional scene. Lost a few, dropped a few, but his 1, 2, 3. So he lost his first one as a pro. He won his second. He lost his third, and then he's on a 3-fight win streak. Choked out, rear naked choke in round 3 of his first one. He got finished with punches in his second loss, but he has a back fist round 1 win at 1:15. And he's got a second back fist round 1 in 15 seconds. So look for the back fist with this guy.
Look for the back fist.
And then he's got one finish
back fist.
that's round 1 right hand. That's it.
Love it.
Just round 1 right hand. 75% of his wins come from TKOs. So
okay, we're gonna leave this fight knowing a lot more. I mean, again, it's a rewatch one with the card starting at 3 a.m. But we'll come out of it knowing a lot more afterwards.
Maybe it'll be an exciting fight. It looks like 2 guys who like to strike. I know Rahiki likes to strike, so
yeah,
look for it to be exciting at least. I don't,
at least
at 4-2 on a regional scene, yeah, he's on the way up, but is he there yet? I'd say probably not. I'll still hold to that, but looking at his background, in just a few seconds, I'd say I'm looking forward to a good fist fight.
Some stuff to be interested about, yeah.
Yep.
This next one, I understand why the line is the way it is, but do not be surprised if somebody pulls a rabbit out of a hat in this one.
That's
We're
right.
at Tim Elliott, Steve Erceg. Tim Elliott, 39 years old, had a bit of a time away from the UFC, almost 2 full years. Came back and fights Kai Asakura, who everybody had as the next big thing coming over. He got dropped into a debut against Pantoja, lost by sub. They dropped him against Tim Elliott to hopefully get him a win. He loses by sub. Maybe he's not all that they thought he would be coming over. And that's possible, but that was viewed as a big win for Tim Elliott, which led him to getting Steve Erceg in a matchup. Erceg, on the other hand, his matchmaking's been kind of questionable. After losing to Pantoja, and getting knocked out by Kai Kara-France, lost unanimous decision to Brandon Moreno, and then a fight against Odie Osborne seems so far down the list. No offense to Odie Osborne from those 3 fights. and he did not look great in that Odie Osborne fight.
Yeah. Walked away
Which
with a
leads
decision,
me
but
to this one.
mm-hmm.
Tim Elliott's really good at front foot pressure, man.
Yeah.
Tim Elliott at 39 is still really, really good. And at plus 195, I'm willing to take the dart throw on Tim Elliott because I personally believe Odie Osborne was a couple decisions away from beating Steve Erceg based on the fight I watched. And that doesn't give me reasons to believe in Steve Erceg going forward. Sometimes you get to that cusp, like you get right to where you are at the top of the mountain. You're fighting for the belt. You're fighting in big fights. And, it's right there for you to have it all. And when you lose a fight like that, a la like a Dominic Reyes, or that's the main guy that comes to mind actually, where you're right there and you're almost at that goal and you don't get it, what it does for your confidence as a fighter could really, really, really change things. So it leads me to believe that Steve Erceg, off of that loss, accumulated a couple more losses. KO lost to Kaikar France. I feel like personally, after being right there in belt contention, the confidence has kind of fallen off since then.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tim's has nothing to lose. He stepped away from the sport for so long and he's playing with house money, now coming back, beating the unknown Asakura. You're telling him down there, obviously it's Erceg's like home area, right? But like you have an opportunity to upset somebody on their home arena for the most part. I think
Mm-hmm.
Tim Elliott lives some moments like that.
Yeah.
At plus 195, I'm willing to throw a dart at it. I think he'll be able to win this via decision. I think he'll be able to really put his foot on the gas and stay in Erceg's space. I'm not leaving KO out of the equation. I think it's less likely, but I think he could finish Erceg if he gets into that space and really wins the exchange and puts his foot down. Because I saw Odie put this guy in trouble so many times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In that fight. And Odie's not Tim Elliott. Odie's fast, but Odie's not Tim Elliott. So yeah, give me the dart throw at plus 195 on Tim Elliott. I like him to go in there and kind of ruin what should be a homecoming for Steve Erceg.
Okay. All right. So I got Tim Elliott in this. I don't think he should be the underdog in this. I've got Tim Elliott. Look, his level of competition is so much higher.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at who he's beat and then you look at who he's lost to, I think you're looking at a higher level. I know he took those 2 years off. I know you're looking at a ways back. But when you see, he's fought, because he is 39. So he's fought Demetrius Johnson. He did lose, but he took him to a 5-round decision. And we already talked about decisions. They could be one way or the other. I don't think that was a close fight, but he got that experience under him. He beat a few guys, and then he lost to Figueiredo.
Yeah.
And then he beat a few guys. One guy, and then he lost to Brandon Royval. Well, Brandon Royval's turned out to be an amazing fighter. And then he's went on long win streaks, a few losses. More long win streaks. So Makayev is the last one that he lost. But he beat Asakura his last 4 fights. He's 4-1 at 39 years old. Erceg, on the other hand, didn't look good against Osborne. In fact, I thought Odie might have, with different judges, would have pulled that one out. And he lost to Moreno. And he lost to Kaikar
with some poor
France.
judging, he could have won that one, yeah.
It was, yeah, okay, yeah, you got me. But
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I just know judges they'd be watching different fights.
You're looking at a
anyway.
guy that's 4-1 in his last 5 fights against a guy who's 2-3 in his last 5 fights. I'm taking the guy that's 4-1. So, I don't care how old he is. I don't care how long ago it was that occurred. Um, how long his break was. Um, I'm going with him to get the victory here. Tim Elliott over Steve Erceg. Um, Probably a submission. I'm gonna go round 2 submission on that.
Okay, you're back.
All right.
You said you stopped at a guy who's 4-1.
Yeah. So we're looking at a guy that's 2-3 against a guy that's 4-1 in his last 5 fights. I know there's a break in there of about 2 years for Elliott, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take that guy that's winning. Um, I think he's
That's the theme for you this one.
and
If you're
I
winning, you're gonna keep winning.
and I think he's going to submit him probably second round.
Sub, I like it.
I think we're
Okay,
looking at.
Urseg's usually a ground guy, isn't he?
I mean, maybe, but
We don't care, huh?
Tim Elliott's a different animal. He's he's tenacious, and I think you're
Mm-hmm.
going to see Tim Elliott come out on top with a win on this one, upset the home crowd. And the other thing is, and this is not Urseg's fault. You know, he goes out there and he fights. I think they overhyped him,
Yeah,
and I think that got him in some fights that maybe he shouldn't
he
have
shouldn't have been at yet.
been in.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
or at least not been in at the time that they put him in. And so I think that giving him some extra time to get there would have really benefited him, and he got put in early on some of those that maybe he shouldn't have been put that high. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
kind of hurt him. He didn't have that time to grow. He got put in, had a couple of good fights, and really rocketed to the top, but I don't know that he was ready for it. And kudos to him for getting the big fights, but I think it's kind of hurt him you know, in the long run.
Yeah,
And so I think this is going to be one of those fights where that you're going to see an upset on that. Um, and I think Tim Elliott's coming in just to scrap, and I think that's going to get him the win. I think all the pressure in this fight is on Urseg to win at home.
I agree.
Um, and Tim Elliott gets to waltz in there looking like a homeless guy and win this fight. Um,
Do some damage.
yeah, yeah,
I think this next one is going to be quite a bit of damage done as well. Benil Dariush versus Salkid.
okay.
I
You
am
got
hearing a little bit of whispers that it might be a fraud check moment for Salkid. Newsflash: I don't think so. Um, I think the chin of Dariush is gone.
Mhm.
I think when Dariush goes on afternoon walks, if the wind blows too hard, we have to call them to come get him up with smelling salts. I think we're at a point in time where he probably should
How
hang the gloves up
disrespectful. Oh my
and
gosh.
switch careers, right? He seems like a good dude. He's a great speaker on the mic, you know. Um Maybe he could be a voice of you know, tranquility on the mic when you're talking about like them covering fights, cuz he's a very calming dude.
He is.
But
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, no. I don't think the chin has anything left. And yes, he fought Benoit Saint Denis and he was this close to getting like a pretty solid hit on him and a takedown. But again, on the get up, they brushed past each other and he was out. Like, it's what I've seen Selkie do over these last couple
Yeah.
fights.
Yeah.
Those hits come with force and speed, and even if it doesn't hit cleanly, Dariush is the wrong guy to stand in front of it.
Yeah.
Now, if Dariush, I don't know, got on the jaw clencher and really worked those muscles back and has recovered a bit of a chin since that last one and is able to close the distance, he strikes me as a bigger version of, what are we at? Lightweight?
Yeah.
He
Lightweight.
strikes me as a bigger lightweight
Mm-hmm.
than Salkid on fight night. and if he could really engage in laying on top, which Selkie doesn't have a bad ground game, but kind of what Aljo did to Zalal, different levels, but drag him down, be a backpack. I could see him taking this all the way to decision.
Yeah.
If he's able to, I don't know. Do they allow you to wear like a chin strap in there? Right? Because like that's the issue.
Yeah.
It's not the skill. I think Dariush still has all the skill in the world. He's up there in age, and hits affect him way harder now.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And that's why I can't pick him.
If this fight took Salkid's skill now and Dariush's skill 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, I'm going Dariush.
Yeah,
because Dariush has the strength and the power at that point in his career to really take care of business, manhandle somebody. If you're telling me that he's going in there against at this point in his career, a fast, strong, big guy, he's 6 foot tall. He is strong. He's lightning fast, accurate striker with Dariush's past of just getting, I mean, we say he's getting nicked, right? But, I mean, it's a UFC fighter hitting you. But Salkild is not even your normal UFC fighter.
Don't do that. You can tell the difference between a connection. And what did that once said the knee fight happened that should have had him sprawled out like that?
I mean, yeah. But again, Salkild is not your average UFC fighter. Yeah. His strikes are super fast. His accuracy is on point. He's exciting to watch. He's a big, strong guy. He's not a very thick guy, but he's a big and a strong guy. And he's going to light Dariush up.
Yeah.
I think first round. Dariush, in order to win this fight, bro, you have to rush him and you have to engage and you have to make this a dirty fight. You have to not sit at distance. So Salkild's job in this is to put the pressure on Dariush and while keeping distance to be able to hit his strikes. If he does that, first round, TKO, complete knockout, don't even have a follow-up punch probably. That's how I see this fight going. That's how I think it's going to go. For Dariush, get that pressure, go until Salkild, or lure him into you so that you can just step forward. Get him coming in so you can step forward and grab him. But you've got to grab him. You've got to use your wrestling. You cannot engage in a firefight with Salkild. He's gonna light you up if you do that. You've got to be within his, probably elbow reach. Like Salkild needs to be trying to throw elbows at you. If he's not, you're not close enough to him.
No, for sure.
Get close enough.
I love that.
Take him down. If he's got room to do anything but try to elbow you, you are too far away from him.
Space.
You've got to be on him. And if he does that, he's really got a shot at this. I don't know what Salkild's grappling is. I hear it's good.
He has a couple of mission attempts, and he's played some good defense on the ground.
Yeah, I hear it's really good, but that's Dariush's opportunity, and I don't think he's going to get it. I think Salkild's got this one. I think he's got it in the bag, first round, at home.
At plus 135. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what, a first round knockout at 135?
Yeah. A first round finish. Doesn't even have to be
finish. Doesn't even have to be a knockout. Yeah, because he could knock him down and go down and submit him.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm curious to know about is a little bit on the political side. Dariush is Iranian born. Is he going to fight a little bit extra to be able to get on that microphone and say whatever he has to say? Because I don't know where he stands. I don't know if he's, this whole political thing I won't get into, but I don't know where he stands. Is he going to have motivation so that he can get on the mic and say something? I don't
The
know.
last time he was on the mic, he really praised how, big Jesus has been in his life and stuff. He hasn't really gone that route. So I don't know if he would carry that over or if there's something that's on his heart that he'd want to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, there's potential for that, but
And
I don't think he'll get the opportunity, unfortunately.
No, I don't
for
think
him.
he'll get the opportunity, but that is a wild card that I would say that some people,
people get motivated to do big things, and unfortunately,
so
in his case, I feel like if he gets motivated and he charges in, it even leads me to believe more, because then he's adding velocity to
whatever's getting thrown back at
whatever blow that might be glancing. He's adding velocity
be smart
to it.
at it. He can't lose his head.
Yeah.
Or he'll lose his head
because it's already lost. Yeah. You talked about engaging in a firefight, and I feel like this next fight, we don't want to see that out of a fighter as well. Jack Maddalena versus Carlos Protes. So now I can really put on my analysis hat because I'm pretty sharp on both these guys, right?
All right.
I believe, and I said it in the Leon Edwards fight, I believe that at the skill set that Jack Maddalena has, his best route to victory is not to stand in exchange with Carlos Protes.
Interesting.
Right? Run the Ian Gary tape back. Make it frustrating. Work the legs. Work a couple takedowns. Tire him out. Extend the fight. That is your way to beat Carlos Protes, because Protes, at this point in his career, obviously he's been doing some evolving, right? But we haven't seen him tested in the way Ian Gary tested him. And as soon as Ian Gary flipped off of that game plan, he almost got finished, right? Like, you have to make this fight frustrating. Don't buy into the booze. Don't buy into the crowd hype. You don't want to stand in front of them in exchange. Now, I haven't looked at props for like takedowns, right? Or if it's even like alive yet. Yeah, it's not alive yet. But if Jack Maddalena is not wrapping him up against the fence or extending how the fight takes place, he's gonna get into an exchange that I don't think he wants to get into. Jack Maddalena is a good fighter. He is a good striker.
Yeah.
He presents problems on the feet. Carlos Protes is slick and very, very powerful for his wiry frame. And I think he catches a lot of UFC fighters off guard every time they go in there.
Yeah.
Approach the fight how Leon Edwards approached the first round. Very successful first round. Do not approach the fight how Leon Edwards approached the second round.
Yeah.
You got to stick on that game plan. Work the leg kicks. Try to mix in some takedowns. Ugly against the cage, body pressure. Drain them. Let them work, right? Dirty clinching, anything like that. But stand across from each other and just trade? No. I don't think that's the path of victory for Jack Maddalena. But Della Maddalena, right? Yeah. I think that's the path to building up Protes more. if you do that, I think you're giving him an opportunity to wear on your face that already has injuries. I know he has a nose that has a propensity to be broken. He broke his nose already.
It's flat. It's against his face.
It's like, but it's like, it reminds me of Marab's nose. Like a couple bad strikes, and
it's worse than Marab's nose because it's sideways too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Marab's is flat and a little sideways. Jack's is like flat and over here.
Yeah, so I feel like you don't want to put yourself in those situations, right? But if you're giving me someone to pick, I think, unfortunately for Jack, he's in his home country or home area. Yeah. The New Zealand-Australia thing still trips me out, right? Because I know they're like separate countries, but like we put a bunch of New Zealand guys on the Australian card because it's close, right? So we're calling it home, but it's not really home. Anyway, I think he's going to trade. I don't know if he's going to approach it very well defensively. And I don't think he's going to do enough to really sap Carlos Protes' ability to apply pressure, especially in the later rounds. Because Protes, you catch Protes before the Ian Gary fight, I pick Jack. I think that Ian Gary fight taught him a lot, you know, and especially about what he needs in those fourth and fifth rounds, if it gets there, how to approach that fight. And if Jack's not doing what he needs to do in those first 3 rounds to, you know, what they say, flood the basement, work the body, work the legs, make it harder to really get around the ring, the octagon, I think Carlos is going to have enough of that fourth and fifth round to still apply very powerful shots, and do what he couldn't do against Ian Gary, which is still get a late finish. In that one. But I'm taking Carlos Protes to win this fight, by finish in Australia.
Okay.
And get on the mic and say I'm here. You know, like my time should be coming for a title shot. So it'd probably be Morales, to be honest with you. They probably is who they'll give him, but hey.
Yeah, there's a lot of big talk right now of Makhachev Gary going to be the next welterweight fight. No matter what happens here, you're fighting to see, you know, what your spot's going to be after that.
Yeah, Watkins trying to add himself to the mix with the Sean Brady fight, Walking Buckley, and then Morales is kind of the odd man out right now with nothing on the cards. But he already took care of business when Brady was 2. So
I think if this is a tough spot for Della Maddalena, because he's going against a guy who is strong in his strong skill set. He's going, if you put him against most other strikers in the division, you don't want to stand with Della Maddalena. But then you throw Protes in there and you're like, well, wait a minute. Ian Gary, while he's good, I don't think can really put you on your butt like Protes can. And so he's fast, he's accurate, you know. Maddalena's fast, he's accurate, but Maddalena's got power too. The one thing I hope is that this is not a fight from distance, because these two guys don't want to engage each other, which we see a lot. When one guy's strong suit is wrestling, the other guy's strong suit is wrestling, and they have a kickboxing fight. You know, nobody really wants to see that, but that tends to be what happens. Ngannou, Derek Lewis, big time knockout artist who stood across the cage and it went 3 rounds and was the most boring fight ever. So
sometimes you get Hockett blades.
And sometimes you get Hockett blades. So I hope this is more on the Hockett blade side. Broken nose, whatever, that shows me that Jack Della Maddalena is going to want to trade with him, and he's not going to shy away from it. If he could have traded with Makhachev, he would have traded with Makhachev, no problem. The hands were not the issue there.
Correct.
Having said that, he has gotten into some grappling with one of the stars of the BJJ world, Craig Jones, who is super good in his own right. You cannot learn a skill that well in 6 months to take on Makhachev. But give him 12 months, and he could have made significant gains. Is it enough to take Protes? I don't think so. But it's enough. It's enough to make the fight a ground fight, which is something that the fans don't want to see, but might be his best opportunity. It's enough to hold him against the cage and, you know, get those little shots in on the body. It's enough to make a significant difference long term if he has continued to work on those things. Knowing that there's a whole nother world to his game that he needs to hit, which he already knew, but to the extent and the level that he was at, if he's put emphasis on the grappling, which I think would have been the wise thing to do, he's going to have elements to his game that he can use against Protes that is not going to make this a fan favorite fight, but is going to make this a awkward fight for Protes if Maddalena can keep him at distance and then close the distance on him. Like you said, standing and trading with Protes is not the way to go on this. Leon Edwards' first round is. And if Maddalena has worked enough to be able to make that happen, even if it's not with the sheer takedowns like Edwards had, he makes this a grappling fight, whether it's against the fence or against the cage, and he's got a
Yes.
shot to win this fight. And he's got a real chance to win this fight. Um, I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's going to stay in a trade with him. Part of me wants to say Maddalena, just because I don't know why. I'm just feeling the Della Maddalena in this fight. But if I have to go with someone, Protes, I can't bet against Protes in this. I
No.
think Protes wins it. Something in me is telling me Maddalena's going to kind of shock people with this and dominate the fight. But
I mean, the path to domination, I feel like, is there.
Yeah.
If you are able to not just stand in a way where Carlos is able to counter you.
Yeah, but
if you really put emphasis on being the bigger framed fighter.
And he is.
Yeah.
He's the bigger frame fighter. He's fast in his own right. And
younger as well.
Yeah.
Right? Should
You
have
know what? I'm
better
going.
gas tank.
You talked me into it. I'm Della Maddalena in this fight. He's gonna be the smarter fighter in this one, and he's gonna avoid that. Was it his left hand of Protes that makes everybody's feet just leave the canvas? He's gonna circle to that side. He's gonna circle to his left, and he's gonna win that fight that way.
And like you said, he's powerful. I feel like one thing I didn't account for, like you said, is Ian Gary did touch Protes a lot, but none of them are shots that could sit him down.
Yeah.
Maddalena doesn't have the same measurables, but if he does land the way that Gary was landing on Protes, they'll be more substantial.
I feel
build
like
up
they
over
will.
time. He could potentially get a knockdown off of that. I haven't seen him have to fight out of that kind of danger before, so it'd be intriguing to see for sure.
And even though I say 12 months is different, 12 months is still not enough to make you a world-class grappler. So I don't.
It's not. But
it's enough to
when you're fighting
to put it in your game.
When you're fighting a Protes, it's a good person.
Grappling, though he's probably not shabby at it either. So
yeah, it'd be an intriguing fight to see for sure.
I'm looking forward to this fight because I think this is one of the more unpredictable fights out there. And it's really Protes that makes it unpredictable. Because if Protes lands, that is lightning in a bottle. But if Maddalena can stay against a professional boxer, but for MMA, he's really good. And so I could really see him piecing Protes up from distance. But if Protes lands, that's rough. But
I'm intrigued. I'm not gonna act like I'm not gonna look at the results before the fight comes out, but I will.
I think he's fast enough and good enough to take Protes into the second and third round, and if that happens, Maddalena's got, I think, the advantage.
More tools, yeah. I think it's gonna be a good one, man. I can't wait to get back and review it. There's a lot of big news coming out too that we definitely need to do on the next pod. International Fight Week. There's more steam being picked up for a certain person. I have a take on that.
Okay.
Connor versus Holloway, to give you a preview. Apparently they're supposed to headline International Fight Week. Patty versus Benoit Saint Denis, all but signed and sealed.
Okay.
So we have some future news to talk about. And obviously after this week, next week we have Sean Strickland, Chimaev. We've made it this close.
We'll see if it happens
now. Yeah.
And
so we'll have all that to talk about.
All the controversy of the press conference being explosive.
It's already starting. Sean's already started the talking.
There's people saying don't even put him at the press
have
conference.
To defend himself. Exactly. It's going to be dangerous. But we'll talk about that one for sure. Any closing thoughts, sir?
No, I think this fight card has extremely intriguing fights on it. And then it's got some to where you're going to see some stars that are former stars or potentially former stars, kind of dropping off the mat on some of these. And you're going to see some guys step up. I think this is one that has one of those to say like, oh yeah, that was a great fight card,
No, for sure.
And if you're a betting person, I think it's got some really good lines in there that you can do some things with if you're inclined to do that.
Yes.
That's all I got on this one. I think that main event is one of the more intriguing fights. I think it's going to be won by the mind
Mhm.
of whoever is putting together the fight plan, and then which one of them can execute. Fighters don't necessarily always execute fight plans that are put together for them. So, I think
Bingo.
if somebody puts a good fight plan together and their fighter follows it, there's paths to win for either one of them. So we'll see what happens.
I'm excited. This has been Kick Your Bush YouTube channel, Art of MMA podcast. We will see you folks on the next one. Please like, subscribe, and share. And peace.
Later.